One of the major components of our state budget is Medicare and Medicaid funding, which is largely driven by the federal government. We've heard a lot of talk out of Washington about repealing and replacing and repairing and rewinding maybe. With that much uncertainty and that big of a portion of our budget, how can the state of Georgia move forward with a budget that's got to be passed within the next 30 days when we may not know what's happening beyond that?
Well, first of all, we base our budget on the reality as we know it now. And Medicaid is a huge expenditure and a large portion of our state budget. So we're proceeding on to keep our Medicaid program operational under the guidelines and the rules that are currently in place. Will there be reforms? We're told there will be, but when will they come? There's no certain timetable. And what will the reforms be and how will they affect your state? Those are ongoing discussions, I can assure you, that governors across this country are now having. Those states that are represented by governors like me, who did not expand their Medicaid population, have a very different point of view than those who did take the bait under Obamacare, took the money, expanded a population group that had never traditionally been a part of a Medicaid program, and now they're wondering, what are we going to do with that population? Well, that's a concern that I had in the beginning, and one of the reasons I did not advocate we do so in terms of expansion. Once you give people something for nothing, it's awfully difficult to ever take even a small portion of it back. So Medicaid reform is going to be a very difficult issue.
You often cite the rainy day funds as one of the metrics that you seem to measure performance by. What is it about that, and how did you come to see that as an important part of your job?
Sometimes drastic situations get your attention. When I first became governor, I was told that our revenue reserve fund, we call it the rainy day fund, was about $116 million. That sounds like a lot of money, but to put it in context, it was only enough money to operate state government for maybe 2 days. Now that's not good news for a governor coming into office. So I vowed that I was going to do everything I could to make sure that we had an adequate reserve. Because although we have been very fortunate to see our economy in Georgia continue to grow, and that has been true even though other states have not had the same degree of success as we have put much of that growth into building up that rainy day fund. My goal I announced some time back was that by the time I left office in January of 2019, I wanted to leave my successor at least $2 billion in that rainy day fund. The truth of the matter is that because of conservative budgeting, we have now accumulated a rainy day fund of about $2.03 billion already. So I've upped my goal. My goal now is to leave it at $2.5 billion when I leave office.